They said the ocean was blue, but here it's black, like secrets buried deep. And this isn't just a house, it's a story about light, darkness, and the space in between. This is Coastal Noir, a design that doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't beg for attention, it draws you in slowly, like a tide pulling at your feet. Most beach homes are bright, white, and sunny. They celebrate light. But this embraces the storm. It's moody, it's raw, it's unapologetic. Every wall, every beam, every shadow is a love letter to the ocean at its darkest hour. Did you know that 70% of homeowners feel their space doesn't reflect their style? Don't be part of that statistic. Subscribe and start designing a home that truly feels yours. Deep charcoals, stormy blues, weathered wood that feels like it's lived 1,000 tides. Blackened steel that stands strong against salt air, like the skeleton of an old ship. Inside, it's not empty. It's alive with quiet warmth. Shadows dance across driftwood floors as the last sliver of sunset kisses the edge of a bronze fixture. Here, the living room isn't just a space, it's a theater for the sea. Oversized windows frame the waves like moving paintings. The kitchen hums with soft light reflecting off dark marble, smooth as sea rock. And the bedroom? It feels like a secret, a cocoon of soft linen wrapped in midnight walls, where mornings come slow and gentle. But here's the twist. Coastal Noir isn't about darkness at all. It's about contrast, about making light matter more because it has something to fight against. Every shadow exists so the light can feel like a gift when it arrives. So ask yourself, would you live here in a house that doesn't blind you with brightness, but lets you feel the tide in your bones? Because Coastal Noir isn't just a design, it's a mood, a memory, a secret only you and the ocean share. And maybe that's where the magic begins. Most barndominiums are bright, open, full of cheer. White walls that almost glow, sun spilling into every corner, a celebration of light. But this one doesn't shout, it whispers. Coastal Noir is about edges, about shadows stretching across driftwood floors, about the sound of the tide echoing softly through blackened steel beams. It's the design that dares to feel like midnight instead of noon. Why does it exist? Maybe as a rebellion. A quiet stand against the sameness of glossy, all-white beach homes. Because life isn't always about blinding brightness. Sometimes it's about depth, layers, mystery. Look closer and you'll see its language. Deep charcoals that feel like the ocean before a storm. Moody blues that shift like waves under a cloudy sky. Stormy grays brushed with salt and accents of weathered bronze, the kind that looks like it's aged beautifully by the sea breeze. A beautiful home is not a dream, it's an art, and you're the artist. Subscribe and start creating spaces that speak to the soul. Every material tells a story. Reclaimed wood, pulled from forgotten docks, carrying whispers of tides long gone. Blackened steel, solid and unyielding, yet softened by time and touch. Matte concrete floors kissed by salt air, cool under bare feet, grounding you like wet sand beneath the tide. It feels almost cinematic, not staged, not forced, but real, like a novel you've read before, only this time you get to live in it. This isn't a house for everyone. It's for the ones who find beauty in the in-between. The gray space where light and shadow play their endless game. It's for the dreamers, the poets, the ones who understand that sometimes silence speaks louder than any color on a paint chart. Coastal Noir doesn't demand attention. It doesn't beg you to look. It just exists, calm, collected, confident, like the ocean itself. And maybe that's why it feels so hauntingly beautiful. But if the outside feels like a storm, the inside feels like the eye of it. Step through the door, and the world softens. The chaos of crashing waves becomes a distant hum, like a heartbeat you almost forget is there. This isn't a space that overwhelms. It wraps around you, quiet and certain, like it's been waiting. The living room isn't bright. It doesn't need to be. Instead, it lets the light play its own game, sliding across dark walls, scattering on driftwood floors, lingering on brushed metal details. Oversized windows stretch wide, framing the ocean like a living painting. Each wave another stroke of movement. You don't watch the sea here, you feel it, curling against the glass in whispers. Move further in, and the kitchen feels like an intimate conversation. Dark marble counters, smooth and cool like sea rocks, meet brushed brass fixtures that glow softly, catching the last blush of sunset before it fades. There's a stillness here, a kind of slow beauty that doesn't need to announce itself. It just waits, patient and timeless. And then, the bedroom. It's where the world disappears, where mornings feel like secrets you share only with the ocean. Soft linen draped over a bed that seems to float in shadow, walls deep as midnight holding you close. Outside, the waves rise and fall, but in here, time doesn't matter. Transform your home, transform your life. Subscribe now and let's create spaces you'll love forever. Every corner isn't designed, it's curated. Every detail feels like a note in a melody, humming softly between solitude and the endless rhythm of tides. The flicker of a fireplace, the curl of coffee steam in dim light, ocean mist pressing against glass like a dream you're almost awake for. This isn't a home that fills space. It fills you with calm, with depth, with a sense that maybe silence has its own voice after all. Coastal Noir isn't just a look. It's a feeling, a mood. It's what happens when you take the softness of the sea and the raw honesty of steel and make them fall in love. Most people picture the coast bathed in light. Whitewashed walls, airy rooms, the kind of brightness that almost hums. But this is something different, something deeper. It's for those who want more than pretty. It's for those who want meaning. Why choose darkness when the world is obsessed with light? Maybe because light means more when it doesn't come easy, when it has to fight its way in, through shadows that stretch long and low. That's the secret of this design. It makes you notice what you'd normally take for granted. The way morning sunlight spills across a blackened beam. The way a single candle can hold a room in its glow. Darkness in design isn't emptiness. It's intimacy. It slows you down. It wraps around you, says, stay a while. It creates depth where flatness used to live, calm where chaos usually hides. This isn't a house that shouts for attention. It breathes, quietly, steadily, and maybe that's why the family who built this place came here. They didn't want a vacation home. They wanted an escape, a sanctuary where the world couldn't reach them, a place where storms didn't feel like danger, but like proof that they were alive. Every choice they made, every shadow, every texture, wasn't about trend, it was about truth, about creating a space that feels honest, raw, and real. A place where the ocean isn't just something you look at, it's something you live with. That's the soul of Coastal Noir. It isn't perfection, it's contrast. It's the beauty of light and dark, learning how to belong together. And once you feel it, you can't unfeel it. And here's the truth. Coastal Noir isn't dark at all, not really. It only seems that way at first glance. What it's really about is contrast, the way light becomes sacred when it doesn't come easy. The way it matters more when it has something to fight against. Every black beam, every shadowed corner, every wall that holds the weight of midnight, none of it was designed to hide. It was designed to frame the light, to make it unforgettable. Because what is brightness without a little darkness to measure it against? When the sun breaks through a storm, the glow doesn't just fill the room, it changes it. Suddenly, that deep charcoal wall feels like velvet under gold. The brushed brass gleams as if the sea itself spilled liquid sunlight across its surface. And for a moment you understand. The shadows weren't there to take anything away. They were there to give, to make you see what you'd never notice in a room that's bright all the time. That's the twist no one tells you about Coastal Noir. It isn't heavy, it isn't cold, it's honest. It teaches you to appreciate the fragile things, the fleeting blush of sunset, the first thread of dawn stretching through a window, the glow of a single candle in a room that feels infinite. Because sometimes beauty isn't in what shines brightest. It's in what waits patiently for the light to find it. It's in the contrast, in the tension, in that quiet reminder that everything good feels deeper when you have to lean in to see it. And maybe that's the secret. Coastal Noir doesn't just change a room, it changes you. It slows you down. It makes you notice, it makes you feel. And in a world that moves too fast, maybe that's the kind of design we've been searching for all along. So, what would you choose? A house that blinds you with brightness? Or one that lets you feel the tide in your bones? One that speaks softly, like the ocean at night, and reminds you that silence can be beautiful too? If Coastal Noir whispers to something inside you, maybe it's more than a design. Maybe it's an invitation to build something that feels like a secret. A space that doesn't just shelter you, but knows you. A place where every shadow carries meaning,